Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Take 5 with Steph. And today we're going to talk about strategic business plans that work. And the big way that we help organizations create a really good business strategy is we first start out doing an assessment of how things look inward and outward in the business. And we really take this 360 view and gather where everything is at and what is the simplest way we can do that in a one page, really clear outline of what they're all about, what they're saying to their team, what they're saying to their clients, and what really matters most for them. And when we reflect that back to the CEO and their leadership team, it really highlights what the gaps are and maybe how they want to be more clear about articulating what their mission is. And then we go into a larger deep dive of assessing things. And we have a really great strategy and system to going through all the documentation, all the systems and tools. And we do that fairly quickly in about a 1 to 2 week period. And then depending on the time frame that the business and leadership team has, we can collaborate with them in a half-day intensive workshop. And at the end of that, come out with a roadmap outline of what to actually do and in what order. And then we present them a very detailed plan to basically, they could do it themselves if they wanted at the end of that. And then another way we can do that is we can actually do it over a course of a longer period of time and actually meet with other stakeholders. So we would do that in about a 4 to 8 week period, depending on the stakeholders and how deep and involved the investigation is. And the same thing, you get that same outcome of a roadmap. And we really are clear in outlining what to do first for the different areas of the business, in what order to do that. And really everyone is just focusing on one or two priorities for a quarter. And it's quite fun to see how the focus and the clarity in getting everyone on the same page is so effective. And one of the things that I get asked is like, how do you get everyone aligned on the leadership team when you're doing a big change or trying to reinvent things or scale the business? And going through the assessment period that we do, we actually get input and feedback from everyone involved, the leadership team and the people doing the work. And we come to a summary of what everyone's point of view is, and we can see where there is alignment and when there is not alignment or there's a needing for education. And then you can be really quite strategic on whether you talk to an individual or whether you have to give a message to the whole company about what's going on and why. And ultimately, change is hard. And we need to be really clear about what we're going to keep doing, what we're going to start doing, and what we're going to stop doing. And if we can show the benefit of how it's going to make everyone's life better and how everyone's going to prosper together with these changes, it's not that hard to get everyone on the same page. So that's the quick 5 minute summary of what it's like to create a strategic business plan. And I think the other component is not trying to do too much at once while doing the day-to-day business, because you have your other roles and things that you have to do, but you're also trying to innovate and do these other initiatives to bring the company to the next level. And so having everyone in the organization focus on one goal and their parts within that goal at one time is really the way it happens. And it sounds really simple, but one of the things that I help coach teams to do is that keeping them on track and accountable to the goal and trying not to get distracted with the next new thing or the next thing coming up when we're not done this one. And what I really love about working with the CEOs I work with is that they are growing themselves. They are always going to events and reading books, and they're working with their own mentors and business coaches. And they'll come to me and they'll say, "Hey, Steph, I just read this book. I really want to implement this process." Like, say it's like, I want to do the sprint process. Or it's like, oh, I really want to be more efficient with our meeting time and reduce our meetings. And I absolutely love that. where you kind of need a COO or a second in command or someone that understands what's happening with the team right now and where the visionary wants to go with the business, is connecting the dots of where the team is right now and the steps that are needed to get them to the next level. And I think it's that lack of attention to that when we're moving really fast and trying to implement the next big thing, where it feels frustrating and it feels like people aren't on the same page. It might be that we're asking the team to go 5 steps ahead when they're only on step 2. So let's use the reducing meetings for an example. If a team wants to reduce meetings and everyone's like, yeah, I'll put my hand up. Yes, I want to reduce my meetings. It sounds great. But you have to make sure the information that's needed for the day-to-day to know what's on track, off track, where support's needed, that communication is still flowing, even if it's asynchronously, and that there's a way for everyone to have transparency about that information. So at any one time, someone knows what's going on. It takes practice to do that. It takes practice to find an extra 5 minutes in your day to update or give a quick message, versus going to a meeting and sharing it verbally and doing everything in that meeting. So there is a learning curve and a transition for that phase of it as well. So making the time to assess things, gathering all the information, putting a summary together to understand the gaps and where we're going to start and stop doing things, then having a rollout plan that's very focused about what we're going to do in what order and staying accountable to that. And then doing some training and education for people to make that transition from where we are today and where we're going, and helping them get through the different steps so that you see the progress and it's less frustrating. And perhaps people are on the same page. They might just need a little longer or a few more educational pieces or guidance to get there with you. So hope that's helpful. Please ask me your questions, share your thoughts in the comments, and I'll be back next week to continue the conversation. Have a great rest of your day.